Alan Smith, a player with such a great career behind you, but it actually started in non-league for you. Just tell us why no club has snapped you up before Leicester had.
I don't know. I went through school, stayed on at school, did my A-levels and played for the county and what have you. But I've been involved in this non-league club, Alf Church, the youth and the reserves. And when I got to 18, went to uni, went to Coventry Poly as it was then, and just played for their first team for a year. So at that point, you're thinking maybe the old football dream is not going to be. And I was concentrating on what I was going to do with my degree. But then, of course, Leicester came in, and there were always a lot of scouts coming down to Alf Church. It was a good level of football. It was Southern League, Midland Division, and the standard was pretty good. We'd had one or two players, Richard O'Kelly, Sean O'Driscoll, now Liverpool coach. One or two had played there.
So what was the club like in those days, those early 80s, and what were your first impressions of it?
Well, I mean, Jock Wallace was my first impression because he was obviously Scottish, and the dressing room was full of Scots. I mean, remember the negotiations with Jock. I came down to Filbert Street with my dad, and we sat there, and you didn't really negotiate with Jock. He told you what you were going to get, and we were finding it hard to understand him with his thick Glaswegian brogue. And we came out, and my dad went, "You know, what's he offered you? What are you going to get paid?" And I says, "Oh, it's going to be this and it's going to be that." And Jock was very kind because he said, "You're going to get so much, but if you play for the first team, you're going to get this appearance fee, and that's going to put you on the same level as the first team lads." But by that stage, Jock Wallace had left to go up, I think he'd gone to Rangers or Motherwell maybe, I think. And Gordon Milne came in, and he kind of, as managers do, they sift out the squad and get players in that they want and sift out the ones they don't, and that worked in my favour. I was playing for the reserves up at Beaver Drive against Northampton Town. First team on the adjoining pitch playing Northampton's first team. Half time came, Gordon Milne, "Alan, come on, we want you on for the second half." And I scored a hat-trick. Alan Young was the centre forward at the time, and he put me in for Youngie on the first day of the season against Charlton Athletic.
And to achieve promotion in your first season as well with Leicester City, what did that mean to you at the time to get into that top flight? I suppose the same as it would for anyone now.
Amazing, yeah, because I'd been at non-league football, and all of a sudden that, the promise of playing in the top flight. And I never forget the last game of the season at Filbert Street. We played Burnley, and we got a 0-0 draw. Burning hot day it was. Filbert Street was packed, and we thought that was enough. Like mathematically, it was enough. Fulham, who were the league leaders for most of the campaign, the wheels had fallen off their form, and they were at Derby County, and the crowd towards the end of the match, they'd all come out of the stands and they all stood around the pitch, and I remember the footage, and a fan kicked one of their players who was about to take a throw, and anyway the ref blew early for that match. So we came off the pitch at Filbert Street thinking we'd got promoted, we'd got the point we needed. We went up to the director's box, waving to the fans, the pitch was full. Went downstairs, champagne, the corks were popping. Gordon Milne came in and said, "Hold on lads, hold on. There's been an appeal at the baseball ground, at Derby's ground. They might replay the game." Malcolm MacDonald, the Fulham manager, had said, "This isn't right, we've not completed the game, we want a rematch." So it wasn't until the Tuesday or the Wednesday, I think, that it was confirmed that the results stood and we were promoted. So it was a strange one, really.
Who would you say were the main characters in the dressing room around that sort of time, that sort of era?
Oh, we had a load, really. I mean, Mark Wallington was a great character, our keeper. He'd been around at the club for nigh on 10 years, I think, when I got there, and he had a lovely laid-back sense of humour. At half-time, there was a toilet in the corner of the dressing room, and he'd always sit on the toilet having a fag with the door open, listening to Gordon Milne's team talk. "Yeah, I'm listening, boss. Yeah, it's okay." Having a fag at half-time. People like that. Tommy Williams. He was a dry, funny lad. He was centre half.
What's the most enjoyable part of being a pundit, being a commentator? Obviously, it's a whole different match day experience for you now than it used to be.
It is. The best part is when you get standout games. I mean, one of the best games I've ever done is Leicester Man United last year. To see what happened that day, yeah. And from a commentary point of view, you know something special's happening at the time, so you are just conscious of trying to put good words to the pictures, and don't fluff your lines on the replays. Try and give the TV something that can be replayed, because you know that's going to be replayed for weeks and months in advance, years, because it was such a special game. So you just want to do the moment justice.